Hello Total Wargamers, my name is Deacon and welcome to a new campaign series in 3rd Age Total War Divide and Conquer 2.1. And we've previously done a rush campaign series with Lindon in 1.2. And now we're going to do the opposite. We're going to play a turtle campaign. And with a slightly roleplayish set of house rules, which I'll expand upon as we continue. Well, we're going to play short rules, 15 regions, including the Grey Havens. If not, we would have to eliminate Mordor. And that may drag out the campaign much longer than I'd like. And this, as we've seen, is quite doable. Of course, now we are turtling, so it might actually be a little bit more complicated. I won't declare war on any of the good factions, and I'm not gonna go on a mission to try and keep every good faction alive up until like Dorwinian, because that's just way too far out for us to try and reach. But preserving the lives of our of the good factions and our allies, staying true to them, are some obvious strategy roleplay house rules to begin with. Now we have a Palantir level 5 smithing. We start relatively safely in a corner of the world that doesn't see too much trouble. We have the strongest roster in Middle-earth. It says very slow recruitment, which we've seen before. It's probably going to be roughly the same. And then very expensive units. So turtling will make sure we can upgrade our economy, grow everything, to the point where we can support these incredibly expensive units and well, let the rest of Middle-earth play out its role while we prepare for a grand Middle-earth saving operation if need be. Now I've seen a little bit of the new units for Lindon and they look magnificent. So we'll try to get them in the spotlight in a good fashion in our many battles. Try and zoom into them and show off that new unit models that have been introduced. Now, one of the changes in version 2 is that there are no introduction movies anymore. So they have conveniently been disabled. And all we will get is just a welcome message to version 2.1 and then a description and introduction to our Lindon faction. An own set of artwork for this particular submod for 3rd Age, different from the vanilla version. So, welcome to Divide and Conquer 2.1, adds as a standalone upon 3rd Age 3.2. The Barracks Event, as we all know, between turns 60 and 68. We can train castles now, or build castles as elves. Characters can die of old age up until, I think, 130 even. So 416 turns for a character of 16 years old to die of old age. We are not in a rush. And most of these are the rehash of the message that was already in 1.2. Now this is exactly the same as before. So ends would need to be auto-resolved. Well, I think they're actually no longer in the game, so this mention could go away. This is important though. Rebel generals do roam and try and take. So like wait a second. we have the fog of war toggled off because I did take a little look. This is a fresh install of 2.1 that I only installed like half an hour ago or so. So I've loaded up one campaign, toggled off the fog of war, looked around to all the magnificent map changes that have been made for this version. And if you've seen the faction intro, not actually the version intro, the Q&A for the changelog for this particular new version of the game, it addresses many of the strategy map changes, and it's just a hell of a job that they've done. Now, this is the introduction to the Grey Havens. If you want to read this, you could just pause and go through it. For me, familiar with the content, so I'm not gonna read through it out loud. And it's a very lengthy piece as well. It's all about the history, the background, the White Towers at Elastirian, and here we go. Military reports. That'll be these are fresh alliances. Okay. The Adunaim Umbar has declared for Mordor and Gondor right away, and Dol Amroth right away go to war with them. Now, I'm gonna restart this campaign, so we're gonna pop back into the start menu, because what this does, toggling off Fog of War in a campaign that is running can be very risky, because it can crash your game even at a later time. So say you toggle Fog of War off and then hop back into the game and play a couple of turns, it might still crash at a later time. So I'm not going to start by having this campaign started with a moment of Fog of War toggled off. But what we do get is a little overview. There is a ton of watchtowers here, by the way, so even if the Fog of War is toggled off, I can show you. Then starting the faction, you get to see all of this anyway. What it does, however, is give a little overview of stuff that is in the vicinity. Initial delving of Bree. There is a couple of rebel settlements that we might actually try and get to. But as I've said, we will play a turtling campaign, so I'm just gonna grow our economy first, and then perhaps, if we feel the need for it, we can, how do you say, buy settlements from our allies to be, I think, is the new model for Numenos. It's just something very awesome, wonderful to show. Another nice addition that I know of is that this island is back in here, now belonging to Dorwinion. Previous version it had been edited out. At Helland, with its own model. The port of Dol Amroth, looking quite different. And take a look here at northern and southern Tabor, which are now both in ruins, but they can be reconstructed, renovated. Same for west and east as Gilead. Ker Andros has a awesome strategy map model. In most cases, these are reflected also on the battle maps. We may want to take a little look at Dane's Halls over here, that has this model in place, which is also new but looking awesome. Another important map change is this mountain ridge has been cut open and Onazana has been added, giving Misty Mountain Orcs and Erebor something to fight over, and also increasing the chance that they're actually going to get to grips with each other. So many of the changes to the map have been made just to improve pathfinding, and for AI controlled factions, that is very important. So another change here is that Lorien is now a single province, and Limher is practically what used to be Seren Amroth, but now outside. So the Golden Forest is a single province now, but it does give better navigation, and also it doesn't lock in the Lorien faction into the forest once Karaskaladon would fall. Which I think it sounds pretty logical. I have to yet see how it plays out because I haven't beta tested version 2.0. Other changes are to Tranduil's Halls, which is now only approachable from the southern side across the bridge, making it more defensible. And Tarfillin is now a castle. Large town, it says. Hold on. Amenufun is a town. Erindolan has become a castle, that's it. And this tends to go to the Woodland Realm. It might actually do on the turn 1 auto expansion, which we haven't processed yet. We might actually do that. Process 1 turn. Gives us a little... There you go. The map changes. Tick, 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 tick. You see it getting colored in. And Umbar, Kand, Rune, Harad, Anduin, Erebor, everything just gets a large number of regions added to them. Dorwinion now holds 4 or 5 maybe, and also Anadwaith has been gifted a bit more. Moria reclaimed, Khazad-dûm is now here in east and west, although west is still occupied by the Misty Mountain Orcs. And now interestingly also Tharbad has gone to Dunland to ensure that they actually do get into Eriador and might actually go for Matraith and so on. As I said, these rebel armies do roam around. They will attack settlements and try to defend settlements that they're next to, making for a little bit more challenging early on expansion. These are all things that I really am enthusiastic about. They're good changes, and they should make for a lot of more interesting gameplay and also quality of life improvements, I would say. Here are models for the units of Lindon, Artillery Bowmen and Artillery Guards, and we will see them on the battle map as well. Let's put Cyrdan outside. Not my favorite portrait for Cyrdan, to be honest, but here you go. Midland Nobles. I think they have been redone, and this image might actually reflect their new model. I think it does. Who else is here? We have Lord Galdo, who is the faction heir and comes with Falas Lords, I think. Yes. Looking awesome. And here is Gildor the Brave, also with Falas Lords. There you go. Now, for a proper start to the campaign, we'll have to go back to the main menu. Here, Hobbit Farmstead, which is of course logical for regions along the Shire.
I would fight for your people.
A Dunedain General for Bree. Oh no, actually it's the Northern Dunedain. What is it?
Your attention is an honor, noble ally.
Yeah. Interestingly, this star symbol in there, it is for the Bree faction. And this is the Northern Dunedain, or Arnor, whatever. Deadman's Dyke is what used to be Fornost. If I were playing Northern Dunedain, I would immediately name it back to Fornost. It's just too appropriate and iconic not to be in the game. Change to Carndum, the permafrost region. Even though the season is now summer, this is frosty, which is like a bit a thematical change to the strategy map. Baron's Halls now looking like what Beorn's halls would look like in your imagination. This has also been redone, Beorn's Caddock. Now it used to have like this spire kind of model, but there's another model now. So many of these models have been redone on the campaign map, but also on the battle map they are represented much like the way they are presented to you on the strategy map, which I think is a nice thing. Crossings, I think here and here is a ferry as well. A little lake in here. Another addition is the cliffs that you see here, which makes the terrain impossible except for the entrance points through the ports, which I think is a good thing. So there's a lot to make the game more interesting, and which also means a reboot of Lindon. A whole bunch of armies for Isengard. In fact, if you play as Rohan, they get probably double the amount of this to make for a lot bigger challenge, so you can't actually just toss all your armies and units and generals into one stack and roll them over. It'll be a proper fight, which I think is only fitting. Well, I have campaigns still going in 1.2, ever slowly, but still fun. So, but I think we'll also rapidly turn to Dol Amroth, which unfortunately I made like 10 recordings of the game, and after that I found out that I had no audio, and I wasn't going to do a new voiceover for 10 episodes. That was just too steep. So that campaign is boy. No, I've still left the game on. I can restart again, and then I need to toggle the fog of war off again, I think, because I left it on. Stupid. But anyway, so I wasn't going to redo voiceovers for 10 episodes, and what I did in the previous campaign towards the end was withdraw my forces from the mainland, and then an amphibious invasion of Umbar, which was successful. So we rolled up the 3 settlements they have in the Umbar Bay over there. It killed off the faction, and then here we are again. So toggle fog of war. Now it's off. That's the thing, it persists even if you exit the game and reboot. It just sort of remembers that setting, which is a little bit odd, but yep, that's how it works. So we go back to Greyhaven's Lindon. Very hard, short rules and no battle time limit. We manage all cities, please. A nice house rule to consider would be to always have a governor in a city. I don't know about the family tree for Lindon, because it's technically not a family. We have a Haven Master, which is pretty much like a Teutonic order organization for the faction, that if one faction leader dies, a new one should be elected. But still, the 3 starting generals that we have would have their proper relatives, so they would have wives and children. I could review this in the what's it called, the strategy description files. If you're interested, there's also a series of a mod that I had created myself. A series that combines 2 factions in a single campaign. So I'm playing as Eriador and Dale both. I'm going to keep just the general, the admiral. Now, how do these docks function? I don't know if they can if we can still harbor a ship in a dock so that it doesn't get attacked. I don't know. We have the haven, which is an actual haven. So we get to recruit Lindon Mariners. Lindon Mariners. Which are these guys. So it's a port that actually gives Marines as unit pool maximum. They're all at their maximum. What's our cash flow doing? It's doing stuff, but we are first going to go for the grain exchange, because you even develop bad trades if you have a general in a settlement without a grain exchange. Ending the turn on high tax can give your generals a trait like a good trader. And I used to manage my generals like that, but you need to go back and forth into your settlement to see if they're about to complete a building, increase taxes, lower them afterwards, and it's a lot of hassle. And then even still, it doesn't guarantee they develop a trait, it just increases the chances. Now it would have been nice had there been any forts in the vicinity for us to put some units in. Textile mills. There's a lot of resources that I'm pretty sure can be developed. These should be fishing villages. But a lot of these have been added as well. So new trade resources and new strategy map representations of those. But no forts, so no way to save on upkeep. So these two Tulare bowmen we will have to pay for, as well as these Tulare guards and these Tulare bowmen. Unfortunately, but it is as it is. So now we are constructing granaries, grain exchanges, and we will hit our end turn. Perhaps we will recruit a diplomat. That would be wise. For last lords, in 35 turns we can create a new general. Now let's see how well we do if we just keep our generals in here, march this guy out, see if that works. Should work. So you come over here.
My lord.
Now I don't know if there may be any say ambushes. There may be, there might be. What would happen if I go to very high tax here or here? Nothing except for population growth just topples. And here, yeah, they're not gonna rebel, so that is very nice. So we can toss all our units in one heap and then maybe take under towers. We'll have to see. Let's hit the end turn. Now what we've just seen is going to happen again. A lot of factions will be given new territories, which will allow them to expand further. And well, really, if we aren't going to expand, then having such a large army is useful only to a certain degree, because, well, this guy, he might actually be fixed in this position just to show off a battle map with the white towers in there. I think that is the case, to be honest. Khazad-dûm leading financially. Overall it is Mordor. Now let's see, diplomacy. We have allies, Imladris and Breland. I don't really want to ally with Enedwaith.
Tomorrow's journey planned out.
I'm probably more interested how many turns? Two turns out this.
Ships ready.
Okay. That is
Yes,
more
sir.
than I
Full
had
sail.
expected. Used to be 2 turns for a
Ships
grain
ready.
exchange.
Elves.
Or at least I think.
Swiftly.
Or that might be the
Be
case
vigilant.
in my own mod. Which I have conveniently called Rule Middle Earth, because that's what I tailored it to. And it's been tuned, geared towards hot seat single player play. A single player hot seat. Which is basically a multiplayer mode, but it just allows you to control multiple factions, and I kind of like to do that myself. There is going to be a sub-mod out for DaC 2.1 as well, that allows you to do that. Which I think would be available Monday or Tuesday. Send emissary. Well, on the positive side, we are already on our way, so this
Yes,
should
my
be
lord.
easy.
As you wish.
Perth and Lewin. This is Western Numeriador, this too. So, any expansion plans, Warg Riders and Raider Warband.
Yes, my lord.
There you go.
Onward.
So, if we are trying to get good trader traits, then we need to increase taxes in all 3. There you go. Isengard and Rohan are now at war. That is no surprise. Oh, look. So yes,
Be gone.
there are brigands and bandits roaming around. Here's another one. They
I
have
will only
conveniently
address
posted
you in
themselves. This looks like they're nerd champions, but and they might be. I don't know. We need a spy, basically.
I have nothing to say to you, scum.
Satellite mercenaries. They are a certain type of billman or halberdiers, which is effective against armor. So, rebel armies used to be just bunches of brigands and not too resilient, but I think we might be wrong actually to, like these, underestimate them. However, I'm not so worried about this. It has 34 dwarven and 26 middlemen, only 5 elven, so it's not really our culture. Although it does look, no, it doesn't even look like an elven settlement. Elven rebels, yeah. It is an elven rebel town. Oh no, yeah it is, but I can't really see the buildings in there. This Undertowers looks like a Shire building. This is just bandits. But I want a spy before we attack anyone. So here we go. Oh, look, here they are. They have sooner come to us
We have a word for you.
than
Bless
we
you for
could come
another
to
most
them.
reasonable proposal, we hope. No.
An alliance and map info, and they're gonna say
Further
no.
plans. Let's forget this.
Alright. No, I do want that alliance, to be honest, so I'm gonna try and get it for us. We have been successful. Now we can go back to low trade. Low tax, I mean. Because also we are not growing as long as we do this. And a market would be a very good idea here. Same here, but over here I would like to have a vineyard. So we can recruit a spy. Let's get another diplomat going, sending him in the opposite direction.
Yes, stopping here.
And I think that
Tomorrow's
should
journey
be
planned out.
something of a dwarven settlement in here. Grain exchanges everywhere. Good with taxes because we have ended a turn with taxes high. Tolerant to foreigners, that is not good. And Night Fighter. Well, the thing is, once this completes in 5 turns, that is going to be another opportunity for them to develop that particular trait. We are still making money. That is nice in the long run. The Hall of Music gives 2 free upkeep slots, so that is very desirable. Mines also are desirable.
Yes, my lord.
Let's end our turn here. Now,
as you wish.
they are Thorin's halls.
Proposition.
Let's give an alliance military access both ways and map info both ways. That would be really balanced.
Very well.
Alliance map info and then a regular tribute of 250 for 20 turns. Can you? Very generous.
No, we please. Let us hear your next proposal.
Exchange map info for the both of us.
Enough of this one.
I'm glad we could see eye to eye.
Well, it's nice that you could be glad, but
Without
I would
question.
have preferred having an
I
alliance
shall
with you.
continue tomorrow.
Because we are sharing borders with them on this end. And, well, we have
My lord.
another diplomat. Enedwaite is gonna go to war with Bree at some point eventually. So let's consider them
Stopping here.
traitors to the cause of order and good. So we might want to pick up trade with Rohan, Gondor and Dolamroth, because they have coastal cities. As do the dwarves apparently, because we have, yep, trade going all this way. So they are over there. And we're still making more money than we are investing. This is 4 turns out and this is 2 turns out. Oh, look at them.
Be gone.
Captain is near. They're moving up. They're trying to attack something. Oh.
Come, my brothers.
Let's build
We will need
another
that one.
watchtower there. So we aren't surprised by anything.
Elves. We will need that one. Over here, elves.
Alright. Now the Ard Adonai, the King's Men, they no longer have a scripted invasion of Lindon. They will invade Dolamroth and Gondor. At least that's what I've heard. Should no longer have their turn 80 invasion of
Come, my
Mython.
brothers.
So 3 turns out, 1 turn out. Go to very high taxes. The thing is, with these guys,
Yes,
you need to pay for them. So having tons of agents walking around isn't precisely
my lord.
free. By the way,
Yes. I shall
we
continue
have
tomorrow.
allies in the vicinity as well. Oh, Bree, but that's
Tomorrow's
somewhat
journey
more over
planned
there.
out.
Alrighty then. Here you go.
Come and get me.
So they're coming in with 4 units and then more. So
Ships ready. Set sail. Elves. For the
let's
light.
put all these guys on Admiral Maldor's vessel. Drop them off here
Pull 'em up. Elves.
and put them in with Lord Galdor. So you need to watch out for them, because for the moment I thought they were going to go for under towers or something, and now they are here. Imagine what would have happened if we would have just left out on a march to take anything, and them still being here.
Be gone.
Could have been quite a bit harder. And here we go.
My lord. Without question. Stopping here.
We're gonna come across Bree here, which is okay.
Your orders.
I want alliance and trade with the Northern Dunedain as well. And Midland, 1 turn. Let's hit the end turn. Now our markets should upgrade in just a few turns. The construction duration and construction costs of buildings should go up with each tier. Lord Galdor Cerdon Midland has a vineyard now, so we can get a spy, which is beneficial. Captain
Come
is
and
near.
get me, you coward.
Alright, well, we're not gonna wait for it, so... but Harland is building this in 2 turns. So our first priority will be to rid our lands of any roaming bandits. It is that simple. 2 turns out for this one. What shall we build here then? I think... I don't know if the... We have 1 free upkeep for the Hall of Song. And that is probably all there is to it. So let's build the Hall of Music and see if generals also get free upkeep.
My lord. Yes.
There's the Shire. No more videos.
Without question. 'Tis good to see you,
Oh,
my
we are
friend.
trading with
How
them.
can we help?
Let's exchange map info.
This proposal is of little interest.
Why? Hey, new paladin face. I want to propose a counter proposal. Regular tribute. 100 for 7 turns, like that.
I must say we are not convinced.
Counter offer. Tribute. 120 for 8 turns.
No, we will not agree to anything.
No,
like
I'm not going to pay
this. We understand
1600
we
just for
hope
map
more
info.
fruitful. Yes.
Eventually
I shall
we will
continue
have
tomorrow.
knowledge of everything in Middle-earth. So, no.
Your orders. Without question.
Ostgelon. it would be nice to march out and grab all those settlements, but it will cut off Lindon. It will bring us into contact with Angmar, and right now I don't even want that, so let's decrease our taxes for 5 turns and start spying. He does have free upkeep, if I'm not mistaken. So, yep, and turn. There is some trade going through under towers and then into our lands, if I'm not mistaken. This is actually a graphical representation of trade going on, but it's they're trading amongst themselves, so I don't know. We have trade with Bree, but now spy.
My lord,
come here.
I shall continue tomorrow.
We'll see what you have.
Tomorrow's journey planned out.
Oh. Right, let's get our first battle in.
Assail them! You must defend these lands.
Ah, 2 units of brigands. That doesn't do all that much for us, but at least we get to see our units. Another thing is that at turn 30 or 35 or so, I think 30, the rebels do go active. So if they are in,
Units, await my orders.
Watch for the enemy. Watch for the enemy. This is the way.
if the rebels
We will defend the Elven lands.
are in a settlement, if they see an opportunity to go out and attack something, they will move out and start attacking their settlements. But these models, I have to admit, they do look awesome. So here are our artillery guards, which is a huge improvement as well over the previous model. So I like what they've done here. Now our Phalass Lords, I don't think they've been touched upon. Maybe the helmets, but actually I think they're pretty much the same. Nevertheless, they're still a very tight looking unit. Well, it appears we have to actually start moving out to them.
Elves of Midland,
Advance.
swords! Elves, over here! Elves, over here! Elves of Midland! Be quick!
The Lights of Elbereth.
We will defend these lands. Sit on them! Ready your bows! Ready your bows! The battle is very much in our favor. Victory will be ours. The enemy are badly bloodied. They have lost half their men. Watch for the enemy. Ready your bows! We meet them at last. Must be defended.
Okay, next time I'm just gonna kite them.
The enemy army be awed by the victory we have won here today.
10 Phalass Lords healed back up, so we are back on the map with 37. And the rest, nobody gained any experience. So there was no need for that really, but hello. Now I have this game installed on my HDD drive, not on the SSD. So, oh, there you go. You are now
Our lands will be
officially
saved once more.
dead.
Ruin
Can
these
we
dreams no
retrain them
longer.
here? No,
Elves.
because we don't have a town guard. Do we have recruitment slots even? Do we have a town guard building that we need? Yep, this is 2 recruitment slots. So we'll have to get that next. And this for completion has to go to fairly high. For them to develop a builder trade or a trader is if you complete a trade building. This is 4 turns out.
My lord.
Okay, here we go.
I will only address you in battle.
As long as we keep the possibility to fund our own new constructions. Added siege, the Hornwood siege. It sounds like this is Forlond. You will also have a hollow music. That was to be expected. So you see basically the lines are being drawn and they're going roughly the same direction they were going. Now we will have a lot more free upkeep once all this completes.
My lord. Approaching.
Was that your best shot?
These have a total defense of 8. No shields. Elder Guildsmen are a ranged unit that we can beat, but they do some significant damage. And then Hunter Guildsmen. If you've seen what 2 units of bandits just did to our swordsmen, I mean then these guys,
I am here only to
they
fight
will
thee,
be
not to
damaging, let's put it that
My
way.
lord.
Under towers.
Approaching quietly.
Cell swords. Now. If these could be hired as a mercenary, they have an attack of 15, charge of 6, defense of 18, 12 armor, 6 defense, no shield. They have a shield on their backs it appears, but it doesn't count towards shield melee defense. Woodland hunters and bandits. But these 2 hunters, they're very decent. They have a missile attack of 5, very decent range unit, archer unit. I very much like this one. It might actually be in the breed roster, I don't know. Anyway, both these armies are considerable opponents and not something
I shall continue
to take lightly. So you have 3 turns for construction, you have 2. We can try once
Yes,
more
my lord.
with the
Dear
Palo,
friend,
just
what can we do for you
exchange map
today?
info for fun, you know?
This proposal is of little interest.
Counter. Basically, I don't really want to pay you anything. I can pay you 700. That's it. Okay.
Acceptable, but only until we meet again.
Bree reached. So here's Bree. They have this fort. They have Michel Delving, Sackville, and is there a town here? Just a fort. There used to be like Sarnford or something. Anyway, Come this way.
Yes.
And
Yes,
you
my lord.
come here.
Without question.
We are at war with Angmar. That is funny.
I shall
Maybe not so
continue
funny,
tomorrow.
but interesting at least. So, if they were to take this settlement here, Ostgelon, and we were to have Perth and Leuven, this is another region, Lunaland, which we haven't yet discovered.
My lord.
And let's hit the end turn. Send emissary to the
Your
northern
orders.
Dunedain.
As you wish. Stopping here. I shall continue tomorrow.
Okay,
Tomorrow's journey
that'll be
planned
next
out.
turn.
Stopping here.
It will be next turn. Okay, let's see if we can find a Rohan
My lord. Yes.
and whether or not they would still be alive. Captain Aranarth.
As you wish. Yes. Stopping here. I
Metraith
shall
would be the
continue
next
tomorrow.
conquest of the Northern Thabad or Royal Thabad for Dunland, but they're not yet here. Now this tax level is going up again. This is a couple turns out still. This is 3 turns out. 2. Hello my spy, I want you to take a good look at these guys. Probably also 4 bandits, but I don't know about any rebel fleets. That might be a thing. Alright, let's hit the end turn. Now in many games Under Towers is a quite undeveloped settlement and takes a very long time to develop anything.
Come and get me.
I think this is just 4 units of brigands. Harland. No, he can retrain, but we don't have the money. I would like you to build a town guard here. This is 3 turns out and this 1 turn, so you are going to go to very high tax rate, and that should do away with the upkeep for the Haven Master. Now there's a chance
Yes,
to
my lord. What is it you wish to
get
discuss?
something with these guys.
You hold us at ransom. Another proposition
Alliance
for
and
us
map
then?
info.
I do not believe there is something else you wish
Yeah,
to propose.
alliance, map info, and single payment of say 700.
No, we cannot have another worthy
Alliance,
proposal.
map info,
Excellent.
regular tribute, 500 for 3 turns.
I am not quite able to accept this.
Make
Another
offer. Let's
proposition.
exchange map information then.
This isn't going to an honor and a pleasure.
Okay, at least
Farewell.
we are gifted 500 gold coins. Alright, we are already allied to the High Elves. Basically, I just want you to go back to
Approaching
Eredlune.
their dignitary. Stopping here.
Send your representative this way.
Yes, we are already.
My lord.
And this guy.
Yes, my lord. Without question.
Rebel, 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 rebel.
I shall continue tomorrow.
Bree and Dunland started out at war with each other, but they are now bordering each other, and already they've made peace. That's rather quickly. It might be because Dunland is getting busy with... What might you want? Nothing. Maybe they're all busy fighting bandits like we are. Now Angmar is coming. Bribes are out of the game conveniently, which is very welcome.
Approaching quietly.
That's gonna take 4 turns. Let's see, do we have a family tree? Nope, because we don't have any. Right then. Midland. Let's build a market here. Hey, public fountains, what does that do? Public health bonus. Most likely it's not very... We have a population of 926. So yeah, I'm okay with the market for now. 3 free upkeep is nice, but we have only 2 units in here right now. We will build mines second, like that. Wants to retrain all those generals, but they never do. I have yet to figure out what that is about.
My lord.
I will only
Oh,
address you
privateer
in
axemen.
battle.
They are armor piecing to quite a degree. Now, you
Over here, elves!
should go free upkeep.
Elves! By the light of Elbereth!
Like he does. This is strange.
Elven warrior, come on! Swiftly, come, my brothers!
He doesn't get free upkeep, and we have this. 2 free upkeep. Okay. My bad. It might be for the unit type that he has.
Elves!
Because he had... What did he have?
By the light of Elbereth!
You have
Follow me.
Midland nobles. And they may never get free upkeep. And Falas lords apparently do. I don't know.
Over here, elves!
Your orders. Yes.
Can you cross? No, you cannot. Not unless you
As
go
you
this way. Which we'll have
Tomorrow's
to do, I
journey
guess.
planned out.
We'll be doing that.
My lord. Yes.
Karas Selernen. Which is in between us and the Northern Dunedain.
Without question.
Here we go. 5 turns. 4. 2. Now, something springs to mind.
power of the enemy.
Turn 13. And an invasion is being called upon Dale. That's interesting. Now, invasions have been removed and are now back because the ring script was broken. Without invasions, and they used to happen early, but they're still happening very early. Even more so than in vanilla, I think, because at turn 13 I wouldn't very much appreciate being the target of an invasion. I would probably just walk out,
Elves!
surrender the town, and then siege it. That's what I would probably do. This has to go to high. This not yet to high. They're just gonna be here forever.
Your orders. As you wish. I shall continue tomorrow.
We have the money now to buy some alliances, and I think we will.
Yes, my lord. Without question.
This is Dunedain.
You have a proposition for us?
Alliance, military access, map info, military access, map info. Regular tribute. 8,000 for 2 turns. How about that?
I do not believe. Very well. What
Alliance,
else?
map info, military access, map info. Regular tribute. 8,000 for 3 turns.
No, we cannot. You have further proposals?
Alliance,
Please,
military
let us
access,
hear them.
regular tribute. 4k would be like 500 for 8 turns. There you go.
I do not believe. Another proposition.
If we just...
We're happy to listen.
500 for 9 turns. They are expensive.
I am not. You have further proposals? Please, let us hear them.
500 for 10 turns then.
I do not believe.
Let's get an
another
alliance,
proposition.
map info, military
We're happy to
access. Make single payment and give you 5k just like this right away.
I am not. You have further proposals? Please, let us hear them.
Let's give you 2,000. 3 turns. This is 6k, come on.
No, we cannot agree to this now. Another proposition. We're happy to listen.
No 6 to 50. There you go.
How could we refuse such
Good
a gesture? That
question.
seemed fruitful. Farewell.
Yes, tomorrow's journey planned out. I shall continue tomorrow.
Mirkwood and Mordor. Only orc factions now join invasions due to Khand, Harad, Umbar and those 3 having other religions of their own.
My lord. Approaching quietly. My lord.
2 turns. I'm also gonna buy a alliance with Red Loon, because we just need allies in our vicinity. It's as simple as that. Yep, your tax is set to very high. This is going to take 4 turns, and this 3. There we go. Are you trying to bribe us? No, bribes are out of the game. I still have to check how they did this though. It might actually be that the chance of success on a bribe is just reduced to 1% or less. Or like 0.1% could be. And then even any modifiers don't give you any chance of that ever succeeding. I will go
Yes,
to
my
the
lord.
Dun landings
Without question.
and give them
Stopping
1
here.
gold coin for Lond, and we can take up one of our own units, and then communal farming or public fountains. Let's build a builder's hall, because it is going to save us money in the long run. 2 turns, 3 turns.
My
Hello.
lord. As you wish. I shall continue tomorrow.
Independent army, elven rebels at war.
Tomorrow's journey planned out. I shall continue tomorrow.
Angmar is just sending loads of diplomats our way,
Ships ready.
which is interesting.
Set sail.
Now I really wonder if the dwarf here is trying to bribe us, because he is making a gesture. I always thought when they did that they were actually trying to bribe us. By now he would have developed a certain trait, but he hasn't. This is going to be 1 more turn, so let's increase our tax levels. This is 2 turns, I think. No, 1 turn, so also increase taxes. You move in direction
my lord.
of
Without question.
Busradum Torrens holes. And you,
Yes, my lord.
Enedwaith. Might actually be interesting to save that for
What is it you wish to discuss?
Dunland. Single payment of a single gold coin. There you go.
I must say we are not convinced. Another
Um,
proposition for us then? This seems quite
Okay.
reasonable. Very well then.
and still I am granted money. So that we just made 400 gold coins. Look at that. This is Sellsword's awesomeness. Even Dunland is having a hard time just capturing Royal Talbot. They are trying, but after 15 turns they still haven't.
As you wish. Yes, I shall continue tomorrow.
Very good. So shall we. Oh yes, and of course, as much fun as it is, this first episode also has to end somewhere, and I would think at the start of turn 16 would be a good time, a good point, a good moment. So if you are into DaC and Lindon, then do subscribe, hit the bell button. Mordor is already dominating everything. And if you have enjoyed this, then do please leave a like. If you're still watching, I want to thank you for bearing with us watching all the way through, and I hope to see you next time. So see you then.